Good morning. How's everyone doing today? It's already Wednesday. Fast week. Feels that way anyway, huh? Social anxiety. Anyone ever have social anxiety? Being around people, being in public. It can be very, very tough. How's everyone doing? Good morning. Social anxiety disorder. It's normal to feel nervous in some social situations. For example, going on a date or giving a presentation may cause that feeling of butterflies in your stomach. But in social anxiety disorder, also called social phobia, everyday interactions cause significant anxiety, embarrassment because you feel, yeah, it's true. Social anxiety disorder, fear and anxiety leads to avoidance that can disrupt your life. Severe stress can affect your relationship, daily routines, work, school, and other activities. I never had it that bad, huh? Uh, Being in public, right? I had anxiety for sure. Good morning, Adam. How are you? Symptoms. Feelings of shyness and discomfort in certain situations are necessarily signs of social anxiety disorder, particularly in children. Comfort levels in social situations vary depending on the personality traits and life experiences. Some people are naturally reserved and others are more outgoing. Well, yeah, we know that, right? Emotions and behavioral symptoms of social anxiety. Signs and symptoms of social anxiety disorder can include. How you doing? You still sick, dude? Some of the signs and symptoms: fear of situations in which you may be judged negatively. Yeah, right. You put yourself in a situation where you know you might not get the answers you want. Worrying about embarrassing or humiliating. How do you say that word? Humiliating yourself. Social anxiety. Intense fear of interacting or talking with strangers. I don't know if I've really had social anxiety. Yeah, man, it's just a little setback. That's all. You'll get better. I think mom is more just anxiety, right? um, Fear that others will notice that you will look anxious. Does anyone else deal with this? Anyone? I mean, does anyone deal with social anxiety? Are these the symptoms you have? Um, oh, she does. Avoidance of doing things, speaking to people out of fear of embarrassment. Avoidance of situations where you might be the center of attention. Embarrassment such as blushing, sweating. I guess I did have that a little bit in high school, in some situations, right? Like being in the center of the class or like have to get up and talk. Anxiety, anticipation of feared activities or events. Yeah, I do have that. Intense fear or anxiety during social situations, depending on the situation, right? I just really social unless you try to get to know me better. I can do smart. Oh, okay. So you really don't let it all out unless you get to know the person, huh? Oh, you said you're really social unless someone else gets to know you. Sorry, the screen's a little smaller. I got it split. Yeah. Good morning, Tammy. How's everyone doing? Physical symptoms or physical signs and symptoms can sometimes be blushing, fast heartbeat, trembling, sweating, upset stomach or nausea, trouble catching your breath, dizziness or lightheadedness, feeling that your mind has gone blank, muscle tension. Avoiding common social situations. So these are some situations. Good morning, Tammy. Another Tammy. These are some situations that people avoid with social anxiety. Common everyday experiences may be hard to endure when you have social anxiety disorder, including interacting with unfamiliar people or strangers. So you have, yeah, so I might have anxiety, but I don't have social anxiety anymore. So I have no problem talking to strangers, right? I can talk to anybody now. Attending parties or social gatherings. Now, there's some situations I don't want to put myself in, right? There's some situations we don't go back to because we know, you have a bad past there, all right? Or it's not good for you. Morning, Pat. You know what I mean? In some settings, just gives us anxious. We get anxious to go back. I mean, right? You guys agree with that? Good morning. Um, yeah, I think I'm the same. I never really dove into this stuff like this and like really broke it down. I don't know. This morning is just I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but um, just came to me. I don't know. It's weird in the morning, so I just think, and then I was going to do something else, but then this popped into my head. And, oh, you know what it was? I think it was that last post I made last night. Um, I hate it. I used to work at Dollar General for about 2 years. And when I was with my ex, I was very sick. He used to come to my job every day. I work. What's good? You left him, right? I mean, if it wasn't good for you, I moved out of town and was working as a housekeeper for almost 3 years and left that job back to the dollar store. I thought I was going to have anxiety. I remember I lived out of town anyway. Oh, okay. So, like, going back to that situation made you feel like you might have anxiety again. Is that what you're trying? Is that the point you're making there? Sorry, it's hard for me to. I gotta screen's little, but yeah, that makes sense, right? Because now you're putting yourself back in the situation, even though it's the dollar store. It's all connected, right? In your brain, it's all connected. It's not the same dollar store, but it's not the same dollar store. But that's where the trauma happened, right? That's where you were scared to go. Yeah, it makes total sense, right? Everything looks familiar. Might be a little, the cash register, the counter might be different. The layout of the store might be different, but it's still the dollar store, correct? You know what I mean? It's still where everything happened. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. Um, Attending parties or social gatherings, going to work or school. Well, yeah, I mean, stopping there, going to work. Like when we work on bridges, I have really bad anxiety. So I got this new damn chair, and I don't know how to work it yet. So yeah, at work, I guess I'd have it. School and situations, when I was in high school, depending on what I had to do that day. Like I said, like I guess I was kind of like I wouldn't say the class clown, but um, it all depend what situation you're in, or who you're around, or where you felt comfortable. It's kind of crazy when you think about these and you go through them, step by step, and see, what does bother you in life when it comes to anxiety. I mean, going to work in certain situations, yeah, I'll have it. Depending on, what if we have a big job coming up or what I'm doing at work or like, going over bridges. Speaking of bridges, have you guys seen what happened in Baltimore? It's pretty tragic, huh? It's pretty sad. I suffer from social anxiety. So does my 15-year-old boy where he starts freaking out. I tell him to settle down. He picks up on my anxiety, which makes it worse as we go. I'm good. Can leave the store. Yeah, I mean that's a good thing. Like, yeah, find ways to deal with it, right? I mean, find ways to cope with it. Everyone has their different ways. Tammy, a so 695, um, it's kind of a bit major highway. It's like 31,000 cars travel a day from Baltimore, right? And it's in Baltimore. It takes you to Baltimore. I could be wrong. Yeah, it takes you to Baltimore. Saint Francis Way Bridge. Was hit by a shipping cargo, right? There's a big port. I think it's like the ninth biggest on the East Coast, maybe the second biggest, something like that. And it was hit right in the center of the bridge. Um, yeah, so it collapsed. There was cars on it. There was like 20. I heard anywhere from 7 to 20 workers. This was like 1 in the morning. Yeah, so the whole center of the bridge is gone. So I mean, you can't drive on it, obviously. They did Mayday and get some of the cars to stop. I mean, this is a 4-lane highway. Um, yeah, it's pretty tragic. So not only that, I mean, I don't even know how you can commute in Baltimore. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how far you got to go out of your way now, but it's pretty sad. I mean, the cleanup, I don't know how long. You can just look. I don't mean the cleanup is just the cleanup alone is going to be fucking horrendous. Um, yeah, it's pretty sad. Like you can see the boat. I don't know if you didn't see the video of it. You can see the boat losing its power, kind of comes back on, loses its power, come back on, and then talking to friends and people that are on the water a lot. And a guy I followed that lives in Maryland, he's actually a crabber. Um, he said it looks like they try to put the boat in reverse to avoid. So, I had different thoughts about it at first because I mean, you watch the video, it looks like they're going to hit this thing dead on purpose. But anyway, yeah, they said he tried to put it in reverse and didn't work. I mean, this is a big cargo ship. Thanks for being here from the Philippines. I appreciate you. I have social anxiety, hate going out. If I do, I'm a social situation. I get physically symptoms, shaking, my breathing is off. Is this in every situation you go to, Christy? Or in certain situations? Panic mode, flight or flight. Mood, cry, ridiculous, but my son was me. Sort of control over it. I don't. I said, Mr. Rub off on him. I take deep breaths and try my hardest not to think about it. Again, you guys know this. I'm not a parent. People that been here. I don't have kids. What was I going to say with that? I just want people to always know that because so it's just an opinion, right? What I would try to do. I'm not saying I would be a perfect parent, but in this situation, what I would try to do is explain to your son. I think what the situation is, right, and going on. I would never be ashamed. I'm not saying you don't, but so he can understand because I'm sure, say you have these, say you freak out in front of your kids, right, and they don't understand what's going on. I mean, it's just going to be a trigger, right? It's just going to go down, and they're gonna. I mean, they're just going to have the same problem, right? Because they don't understand why you're freaking out. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is sad. I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but I'm watching from. Oh, you mean about the bridge? Hammer, you're in Baltimore, right? Are you in Baltimore? So it's just a major. I mean, it's a huge bridge that runs through Maryland or takes you to Maryland. I think. Hammer, can you explain that a little more? I should have did a little research before I brought it up, but I do know the bridge is gone. Oh, Kentucky. I don't know why I thought you were in Baltimore. Yeah. Just look up St. Francis Way Bridge. It's no longer there, and it's going to be a major problem, for the Baltimore area. I mean, a lot of people work there in the shipping yard. You're talking major. I mean, just put it in perspective. The boat that hit it was from Singapore. Okay, so I mean, what do you think is going to happen now that we can't get supplies and shit, right? Baltimore's only a couple hours from me. I mean, an hour and a half from me. Um, so you know how it happens when it comes to shipping containers and this thing over COVID. Yeah, Hammer, there's no way this bridge was getting no way, no, it don't matter what this bridge was made out of. Um, it was gone because of the weight of the thing. Let me see if I can find a video for you guys. You get a better idea here. I mean, everything relates back to mental health. I don't want people to think, oh, he's going into blah 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 current events, da 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 da. Well, this is reality, right? People are losing their jobs over this, right? This shit affects people all over the world, right? See if I can find the video. I mean, it's so tragic. I mean, let me see if I. It's not a video, but there you guys can see it there, huh? So there's the bridge. The shipping yard's in the back where all the lights are, right? So that's the center of the bridge. Obviously, you can tell the bridge is now gone. I mean, it's kind of a bad picture, but there's a better picture. So you see this thing in the center here? That center beam where the metal comes down, that's where it was hit. And so you see the shipping yard in the background, right? Like coming out of the shipping yard. And then here, if you can see my finger, I don't know. Oh, you can't even see it. I don't know how this works. I split the screen. But yeah, you get an idea. So that middle beam there, the one that looks shaped like not the one with the two in the middle, but the big concrete one. They did get the traffic stopped. There was only a couple cars, but there was workers on there. And you can see the shipping yard in the back there. Comes from the shipping yard. They had tugboats hooked to it, right? Tugboats release. It came off course right into the middle of that one. It's yeah, it's a shame. I mean, you can see how big the bridge is there, right? I mean, you can see what it does. Here's another view. Um, and it's a shame, man. It's pretty sad. At first, I thought maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it's a sad situation. Most of the time, this late have a couple years now. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely difficult. Oh man, that's so funny, Katie. You say that. A lot of people. When you read the comments, if you look this up, go ahead. I mean, you can look it up, whatever. But a lot of people say that, man. It's crazy. It was like one. I watched a lot of video on it because I'm trying to break down how this huge, massive boat, right, misses, is going in a different course, right, and then just turns and hits this thing. To me, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? It looked like it was on purpose if you watch the video, but after doing more research and talking to people that actually know shit about boats, which the boat was a shipping. It was a shipping. It was a cargo ship boat. I mean, this is a huge port, right? This is a huge port. So you're talking, trying to find some more pictures. You're talking a huge ship. Holy what? What do you mean all involved? I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean all involved? No, no, no. This is a big shipping container. This thing was headed to Singapore, I guess. What's this comment mean here? I don't understand. Anxiety can be paralyzed and avoid and miss out on so much. Now I'm certified physical service. Oh yeah, does the dog help you? Yeah, that's good to have. I was on a plane with one of them dogs once. I think I said that before. I was headed to California, and they could have their service dog on there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know what you meant there. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, because you figure if that bridge is collapsed, right, they can't get to their job, right? I mean, just think if you worked at, like a grocery store, right, and all the groceries are gone now. No one's gonna come buy them, right? And you have nothing to stock. You have nothing to sell. You have nothing to cash out, right? You have nothing to ring out. So, yeah, I mean, if the shit's not, here's a good picture. If they're not bringing shipping containers in, there's no point in having people there to unload them. You know what I mean? Um, Let me show you real quick. You guys get a better idea what this thing looks like. Can you see that? Well, you can see how big the shipping container is there, the cargo ship. You get a little better scale of the bridge. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's just this is a current event, for in my area. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of tragic. It's a tragic event. Um, I mean, you can see there. I mean, you see what we're dealing with there now, right? You get a better idea of what kind of cargo it is. Um, I mean, that water is 50, 60 feet deep, right? And that bridge is and that part of that bridge is still sticking out of the water to the left there. So I mean, you can understand the cleanup is going to be horrendous, right? There's another picture. Um, so there's another better idea. See, there's 695, right? So you're going up. You see how the bridge goes up, right? And it's a pretty high bridge. So it's not the fact that they hit the top of it or anything. They hit the beam holding the bridge. Like you see how they have these bumpers here in front of the thing? That one didn't have it for some reason. There's a great picture of it. You can see the shipping yard in the back. They're all cranes back there. The big white things are cranes, which move the shipping containers. I mean, this is a huge scale operation. This ain't a damn, you know what I mean? This is big shit. So everyone that works back there is going to be out of a job when there's, you know what I mean? There's nothing they can do, right? I mean, it's fucking sad, dude. There's still people missing. I never even seen these pictures, to be honest with you. But so yeah, they're not just little blocks in there. They're not just little bricks. They're huge containers, right? Filled with a lot of shit. Yeah, it's pretty sad, man. There's a better view. You can see the bridge that takes you from point A to point B, right? You see how much of the bridge is missing. You can see, how important it is to have that bridge. Because now, how are these people going to travel? I wish somebody was on here from Baltimore and they could explain a little better on where exactly it takes you. But yeah, man, it's definitely tragic. And all this shit comes back to mental health, man. And now you got people without jobs. You got people. I mean, think about that. I don't know if you've ever been in a big city before, right? Some of us never been in big cities, but now all that transportation. Now, I mean, people are gonna have to get up major early. Like how like that's gonna affect thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. No, it's all right to swear. Yeah, Adam, you saw the video. I mean, at first when I first seen it, I thought, wow, what a, I don't know what I thought, but um, Sad, man. I know one thing I do think these damn a lot of people got to come in here and try to sell this shit. So annoying. Like, leave me alone, dude. Just go about your day, and get out of here. Yeah, I could probably do better, but like I said, the one dude I follow, he's a crabber in Maryland. He explained it pretty good. He was actually right there. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's workers on there, Adam, but I'm sure they're probably all safe, right? I mean, you're taking out this huge ass boat. I mean, maybe not because there was a fire. I mean, if you look at a video of it, it did explode. Like there was an explosion um when it hit. I don't know what exploded, right? Maybe I can get a video if you guys are interested in seeing it, but um yeah. I'm getting back into minute. It's definitely a struggle, right? What do we it's definitely hard. Let me see this video over here once. All right, let me see if I can share this real quick. Are you guys interested in seeing this or no? I don't want to deter from the social anxiety. Um, yeah, for sure. Yeah, cars are fine, and there was workers out there too, right? There was workers. There was workers. On the bridge actually. It's so devastating that this world is messed up. With service dog sure does help me. I tell you, Canada attempt to take him out. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, does Canada let you do that? I guess service dogs, should be allowed everywhere. Yes, thank you. You guys want to see the video or no? Yeah, medication only does so much because I agree with you, right? Um, yeah, medicine only does so much. So much more we got to do, right, to get right. A fidget ring? Does that work? I know they had them spinners. Remember, you could like hold them, and then they were like very, very popular. Um, oh, you want to see the video? Okay, yeah. I just don't want people to think I'm getting off course here, but it's just all life, right? This is the reality that people live in. I mean, this is going to be their reality for months, maybe years to come. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes I don't know, Brian. Sometimes I don't know if they. I don't know if they. You guys see that video there? I think that's the biggest screen I can get. Might be hard. Oh, I can't play it on there. This is from what, CNN? Oh, what? What I'm gonna play? No, it's not playing for some odd reason. Let me get another one here. No, this video don't want to play. Huh. Let me get another one. Yeah, but tragic, right? I like I like I like that one. Thanks for the laugh. Yeah, right. That's funny. Wish it was that easy. I gotta find this video. Now you guys want to see it, and it won't work. Oh man. What's weird? Yeah. So the temperature of the water was only like I'm trying to get a video. The temperature of the water gauge was or the water gauge. The temperature of the water was only like 40 degrees. 43, you're saying? Um, Let me get this here. Sorry. Bear with me. This is all new. This is all new for me, folks. Um, Split screen stuff. Okay, maybe this will work. Oh, it might be hard to load. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I won't be able to play it. Maybe my computer isn't good enough. But I don't know how it can't be good enough. I don't know. I gotta ask my brother or my nephew that. I wonder why that won't play, huh? Oh, there we go. Is it playing now? Yeah. So there you get a glimpse of it there. Look how that bridge just folds. It's pretty sad, man. And yes, there were, so many cars on there. You can see the boat coming there. It just hits the pylon. And it just takes out the whole center of the bridge. It's pretty sad. I mean, from the video, it don't look like it's the bridge is that big. You know what I mean? It might look like from the video, it might look like it's like a railroad bridge or something. But then you take notice of the calmness of the water, right? You see how the water's so calm?
Well,
I
let's just
got
take
kind
you
of in arguments
briefly
with people about
to
this
the scene.
that they're trying to tell me the current pushed that boat, and maybe it did, but I don't know, man. I think it's more of they tried to hit reverse there, right? And then so if you can see here, you can see. I mean, you can see how big this bridge is. It's pretty massive. It's just not a small little thing. It's not a small operation. This is on a big scale. This is going to affect a lots and lots of people. So yeah, um, how many tons is the ship? Let me get back to these questions here. Yeah, Sullivan, there's still people missing. Like I said, there was workers on the bridge, and then there's a car. There's cars going across that bridge. 30 some thousand a day. You know, 30, yeah, 30,000. Yeah, they said it was tested for impacts. Oh yeah, there's nothing stopping that, Brian. I had got an argument with that with some people too. Yeah, there's nothing stop. I don't care what it's made of. Yeah, same here, Katie. I mean, yes, it was sad. We have big bridges called the Harbor Bridge here in Corpus Christi, where I travel a lot, and it gives me anxiety. Oh man, I hate bridges as well, Michelle. Um, I know that. Don't quote me on that, but don't quote me on this. I think it was 100 and some thousand, right? 100 and some thousand. Yeah, I don't think it's the current that moved it. If I could find the video, you could see as the boat's coming. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but say this is the pillar, right? See, my hands are backwards, but this is the pillar. The ship's coming like this, right? It's gonna go like it looks like it was gonna go like this, right, and miss it, right? But as the ship's coming like this, so the pillar's in the center of the bridge. As the ship's moving forward, right, it loses power, regains it, loses power once or twice, right? And it gets it, and then it looks like from everyone that I know that has boats is saying that a big smoke comes out of the engine, right? And that's because they're put it in like full reverse to try to miss the pillar. Well, that's not the case. And then when they do it full reverse, they kick the ass end out, right? I guess anyone that ever had been on a boat knows this. It kicks the ass end out, right? And walks it. So what it did was walk it right into the pier, pretty much. Yeah, I know, Tammy. That's what I thought too. But then once I get once you hear people and get their point of view that actually know what it's like on the river. I mean, I have a friend that actually fishes down there, and the other guy said, like I said, he lives in the Baltimore area and he's in that water all the time. He's a crabber. I mean, these guys run boats all the time. Maybe not to the scale of a ship, obviously, but yeah. I mean, they did. What the hell is this? Oh, it's such a distraction. They did what's it gonna say? Oh, they did Mayday in, right? And they did Mayday. Um, and they did where they were able to stop a lot of the cars from traveling over the bridge before it hit it. Oh yeah, this bridge is a major bridge. Yeah, this ain't like a little back road. You know what I mean? This is like I said, that shipping yard's top 10 easy on the East Coast. Oh, here it says it does say six workers. This is 5 hours ago, presumed dead. So I guess they're not. It's not official, but um, man, let me show you something. Get a better idea with this bridge, like, so you can see there. I mean, it might be hard, but I mean, you can see how big this thing is here. This ain't just your average. It's not just your average. I'm just gonna get some more images. It's not just your average bridge, you know what I mean? With this picture here, you can see what it's done. I don't know, it might take a minute here. I got it on my screen, but it's not on yours for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's a brand new computer. I got to get my nephew and tell him, you guys step your game up, dude. Yeah, I mean, so you can imagine how many people this is gonna affect. Yeah, for sure, O'Sullivan. Yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's sad, like this. Why this computer won't fucking load up. See something real quick. There you go. I mean, there's a better shot of it. Wait, did I already show these pictures? I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, you can just see how many people are going to be affected. It's tragic, man. And now you might be able to. There we go. Now I'm getting better. Yeah, it's gonna be a mess, dude. I mean that all just getting the metal out and all that shit out of the bridge. So another thing you got to remember here, since this boat's here, I'm sure they're not going to move it until further investigations, right? Because like any investigation, they're not going to move this shit until they get everything figured out, right? So until that's over with, they do have the Coast Guard. They do have the Coast Guard has a boundary around here, right? You can only get so close to the scene, but yeah. So nothing's going to be able to come in and come out until they get this all fixed. I mean, you can see there with the concrete. I mean, you can see the mess that they're going to have, and it's going to be months. You know what I mean? This is not going to happen overnight. So, yeah, this is going to be a problem for Baltimore County for a long time. Yeah, I'm not sure. What do we got here? Oh, another link. Let's see if I can. Oh, I probably won't be able to get on there. I got to figure all that. Is it, Brian? Is that what you've seen? Yeah, Katie, that you're 100% correct. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Is that what something like that will take? You think years? I guess you're right. Like, where do you even start? Good morning, Helen. Where do you even start on something like that, right? I mean, you got. Oh man, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even know where you would go. You got. I mean, it's tragic. I'm sure a lot of people down there will help. You know. I mean, it's one thing to be on land, right, and have something like that happen, right? It's one thing to be on land and you have all the access from land, but I mean, you're talking boats. You're talking. I mean, I think that bridge is over a mile long. All right, so you got a mile's worth of water. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't think anything's stopping that, dude. It was pretty horrendous, but um, and I'm kind of stuck on this topic. There's so many things you could discuss about it. You know what I mean? It's such a crazy event. Is it the only bridge to the other side? I don't think. I don't think it is. Let me someone was in there from Baltimore. So many bridges down there. I don't know enough about it. Let me see if I can get a map. If we get a map, we can tell. Oh, perfect. I'm just becoming a all right, folks. Look at this. So you see the bridge. So down here, I don't know. You can see where my mouse is, right? This river here, this line. Can you see the mouse? I'm pretty sure you can. I can't see the comments though. Anyway, this is the 695 bridge, right? So you see how it works? Come over 695, boom, 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 into here, and it comes back up. So there's Baltimore City. So yeah, you do have some other bridges, obviously, that go over, right? But you see the magnitude of this one. You see how much bigger this one is compared to this one or this one. So yeah, I mean, and then the shipping yard would have to be right here. So yeah, but you can see what it's going to do to the city. I mean, it's is it better? This was the bridge right here. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty devastating. That clears it up a little bit for you. Everything watercraft? I'm just glad I can well, that's the wrong page. I'm just glad I know how to share my damn things now. You guys can actually see it. But yeah, I don't want to stay on this topic too long unless you guys. Yeah, it's just I don't want to wear it out. You know, I don't know if people are interested in this or not, but I mean, it's definitely going to affect a lot of people. So yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Like, um, it's going to change so much shit for them people. Not only that, but you're taking 30,000 cars and put them on a different road, right? I mean, just imagine your busiest road wherever you live, right? And then like double the traffic, right? So if you ever been into Baltimore, I mean, it's a fucking mess now. Now you double that traffic, or you know, the next bridge over is going to get all that traffic now. So it's a mess now to begin with. I mean, it's funny because the guy, like the people that were like sharing it that live down there, you know, that dude I was telling you about. If you want to, what the hell's his name? Luke something. He got right there. He was right there on the scene. Like you get so close. I mean, this kid's been on the water his whole life, so he's respectful of the Coast Guard and shit. I mean, he didn't get right in their way, but you know, he'd sit there, park, videotape, and then the current would take you, so he'd come back around. Not only that, but our great president said we got to pay for it. I don't know why we'd have to pay for it. You think you could send that bill to the shipping company? I did read where the guy that was operating the ship, or the, what do you want to call it, the cargo ship, was he got fined before for shit. And you can, they were close to them fire water well traffic then goes past my house. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be insane for Baltimore. It's not gonna be a good situation, and I mean, that's how they make a lot of their profit down there. You know, that's like the major thing for that city. You know, shipping yard. I mean, you can only imagine how many people work at a shipping yard, right? I mean, what was on the boat? Was he on the phone? No, I hope not. I think no, they did have difficulties, right? So there's the story goes is that they lost power after the tugboats let them go, right? They lose power. The power is regained. They lose power. They get it back, and then from what people, I heard this from friends and people, and that guy I was telling you about that been on the water around boats. Then when you see this puff of smoke come out from the engine, it's because they pulled it full throttle to get in reverse, right? It was their last attempt to miss the fucking bridge. But with doing that, the no, I don't know what the fuck I have here. Doing that, here's the pylon. All right, here's the pylon. They were gonna go. They should have went past it like that, or more like this. But anyway, you get the point. So doing that, they come like that, and then when it goes in the full reverse, you know, you've ever been in a boat or put anything in reverse that's on the water, I guess, trolling motor or anything, it kicks the ass end out, right? So what it did was they were coming like this, and then when they kicked the ass end out right into the, you know what I mean, right into the damn pylon. So was it some shitty maneuvering? Probably. I mean, panic mode. I mean, you can only imagine being in that situation. But for now on, I mean, you think they would put something around? But then again, like Brian was saying about the weight, right? I mean, you could put anything out there. Oh, was he? Yeah. So them guys are there to help, and they'll get you out into the water. And then, yeah, from what I heard, so they get them out to the water, and then they break free at a certain point. And then they did call him back, right? They did call him back to get for help, to steer it or guide it, whatever they do. But then it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough time. I mean, you see it in the video. I mean, it's only like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes at most, 5, where all this takes place. So, I mean, getting people off their bridge is pretty important. I mean, I feel bad for them workers, well, anyone involved, but I've worked on bridges before, and there's nowhere to fucking go, right? Where do you go? Now, people don't understand that. They get frustrated with people working on construction on the roadways, but you gotta understand we're in situations where there's nowhere to go, What do you just jump off? You know what I mean? On the high, you figure on a regular road, you can run into the woods, you could jump over the guide rail, run up a hill, go into somebody's yard. When you're on the bridge, you have nowhere to go, right? Except over. So keep that in mind next time you see people on the road, and you're in a hurry to get nowhere. What's going on, Nelson? How you been? What's bringing you down? New Harbor Bridge and the what's CC? Coins for a couple. Company was fired. Oh yeah, someone did bring that up, Michelle, about that bridge collapse. Oh yeah, bridges are Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, when I go over the bridges, my wife will talk to me, or I mean, it's so funny because this all relates back to mental health, right? I mean, now, what do you think people are going to think of the Baltimore area? And how many more people are going to be affected by this now mentally, right? Every fucking bridge you go over in Baltimore now is going to be it's going to be a mess. You got a lot going on with family. I feel like hiding in the hole, blocking everything out. What can you control? What is what? All right, so this is take one situation. We don't know what it is. Just take all the situations. So you're going through a lot. So a lot means multiple things, or you got a lot going on. Like, so out of that lot going on, what can you control and what's out of your control? You know what I mean? What can you do to change the situation? And if you can't do anything to change the situation, why do we focus all our time and energy on it? There's some things we can't control, right? But that's what I'm trying to do with my life. Is if I can't control it, and there's nothing I can do to change it, why am I wasting so much time and energy on that situation? You can put your time and energy onto something else. I know it's hard, right? It's just not sitting up here and telling you that. But does that make sense? You could focus on so many other things. Yeah, Hammer, I try. That's when I say this stuff, and when I'm speaking to myself as well, right? A lot of people just think I'm just. Some people, I don't know what people think. I don't know if people think I just sit up here and think I have a perfect life and shit. Well, that's not the case, right? So when I say this shit, this is my own advice to myself as well. Now, people might have different opinions, but I mean, that's where I go with it. Yeah, I get this comment every day, Hammer. Yeah, if everything was easy, we wouldn't have to do this, right? We wouldn't have to even talk about mental health because it wouldn't be a problem because it'd be so easy to fix. But that's not the case. That's the sad part. Just my son is getting bullied at school, and he's 5 years old. Does not want to go to school and been to the school loads, and nothing is getting done. No, see, it's not your fault, right? Exactly. See, you don't control the school. You know, your kids go to school and now they're in the hands of the school, right? So for one, you can't be there because you probably have other obligations like work, and they probably won't let you in there anyway to sit with your kid all day. Are you in the States or where are you from? It's a shame that that any kid has to go through this, and this shit messes with people for the rest of their lives. Till maybe the rest of their lives until a certain point in life. It's sad, right? Oh, you're from the UK as well, so we know the UK school system isn't too good to begin with. According to other people that we have here. What's the response when you go there? Okay, let's say your kid. I mean, right here, your kid. Um, when you go there, what do they tell you? It's not your fault. I mean, you don't. You don't. You don't. You're not the one bullying. I mean, it's not your fault. You're not the one. You can't. What are you supposed to do? I mean, we can't really be there for him, right? What is your advice to your son? I mean, how do we? What's the best way to approach a bully? Non-physical, right? See, here's let me get some coffee. I'll be right back. I'll let you know my opinion on why people do this shit. Being bullied, it's horrendous, right? Yeah, see, that's what we try. We gotta avoid that, right? I get it, right? Yeah, that's another thing, right? A lot of these guys act up because there's a crowd around them, right? It's like the internet, right? You're not gonna say shit to my face. You're not gonna do this in person because you're not that you don't have that energy in person, right? You're not that person. So it's the same thing. Like you're not gonna act like this when you're around. You see it a lot in people in general, right? They don't act the same when they're around their crowd or their friends, right? But you get them one-on-one, and then they're this loving, caring person, right? I mean, I could throw some names out right now. You won't even know who they were, but right off the top of my head, I got people that are like that, right? You get them by yourself, and then they're different. They're a whole different breed, Brian says Halloween had that with our daughter. She would hide under the table, and that's fucking horrendous. Had to change schools in the end. Best thing. No kid should have to go through that, right? He cries every night coming from the school, saying he hates himself. They say we told the kids to behave and bullying. It's not nice. It's still going on the ground. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're a single mom. You're trying to work to help your child, and I don't know. You guys pay school taxes and shit there. I mean, you're paying for your kid to go to school, and you're supposed to trust the school, right? And you can't put it all on the teachers, right? I mean, and yeah, let's get back to the point I was going to make earlier. Oh, okay, so like, let's address this kid, right? She was 4, and it's terrible. No, it's free. So let's address the kid that's bullying, right? So obviously there's something wrong with this kid. Obviously there's something mentally wrong with him, right? He's either fucking insecure or he sees this actions being done at home, right? he's raised to be a bully. Like, how else do you learn this shit? Where does it come from? How do we know as children how to treat other people, right? It has to be from what we're taught, right? How else would you how else do you know this stuff? You know? Oh yeah, I mean, I used to think, go find his dad, right? Well, I don't know this kid's dad's in his life either, but that's another thing, Is your son's I mean, this has nothing to do with him being bullied, but is his father in his life? Yeah, that's how it should be. Um, but yeah, getting back to the kid, the bullier, like what's missing in his life? What is it with him that he thinks he needs to treat kids this way? Where's he learn this from? Right? Does his dad or mom treat the other people like that? You don't just pick this habit up from you have to learn this skill, right? You know what I mean? You have to learn. He's getting this from somewhere. I mean, do you guys agree with that? The kid that's bullying, like how is like we're taught love, right? We're taught love and hate, aren't we? Oh, about his father. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to know the whole story. That's sure private matter, but yeah, right. I mean, that's how you learn it. You know what I mean? Um, so obviously this kid is it just one kid, Nelson, or what? Oh no, that's fine. You keep whatever you got to keep private. I get it. It's the internet. Um, yeah, your son don't deserve this shit. And it annoys the hell out of me. Two boys, of course, right? Two boys, 2 verse 1. Two boys. What was it? Older brother is always fighting. No discipline. Discipline. Can't spell. That's funny. You remind me of my dad, Brian. Um, that's funny. I sent him this picture. Uh, yesterday. It's a white dude, right? I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It says like 2018 or whatever, and then 2020. Like he's a heavy set white guy, like out of shape, and it says now 2020, and then it's a black dude that has all these muscles, right? I sent it to this group chat. Just it's just a funny thing because obviously it's two different people. My dad's response was, "That's not even the same guy." That made me think of it when you said that because he always whatever, a little off topic, but it's funny. Oh yeah, get them 1-on-1, and then it's a different story, right? But uh, yeah, that shit's not happening, dude. That shit's not happening. You tell your little son that we care about him, right? He's a good kid, and it's a shame. That shit pisses me off, right? Because this affects both kids. Like how do these kids grow up? Like, what are they going to be when they get older? Why does your son have to deal with another kid's um misfortune? I would call it, right? So it's like being passed down. So he brings it to school, right? Whatever problems he's going with at home in his own house, he brings it to school and puts it towards your son, right? Your son's just there for the same reason everybody else is. I mean, this. What do they? How do they handle this in school? Like, if someone's being bullied, why don't they just get in front of the class and say, "Look, if this shit happens again, if you see this happen, if you're in the room and this is how I would handle it if I was a teacher." All right, teachers have a hard job, so it's not coming at the teacher, but you are responsible of my kid when my kid's in your room, right? Here's what I would do: I get up in front of the class and say, "Look, if you see this going on, you're in the room when this goes on. You're in the bathroom when this goes on. You're in the playground when this goes on. You're on the bus, in the hallway. I don't care where you're at. If you see this happen, and I know you've seen this happen, and you don't do nothing about it, you're all in trouble, right? That situation where if he messes up, now we're all doing push-ups, like in the military, in a sense, right? We're all individuals, but we're all here for the same reason to learn, do what we got to do, and go home safely without loss, injury, or harm. You know what I mean? So now everyone's being held accountable for this guy's action. That's what we're gonna do now for you. So you little Johnny wants to hurt Nelson's kid, or be little Johnny and Ted want to hurt Nelson's kid. So when little Johnny and Ted disrespect Nelson's son, now you're all going to be in trouble, right? And then once everyone gets in trouble for these two people's actions, shit will change. I guarantee you. Because now these two kids are going to be the ones getting fucked with because now you're affecting everybody in the classroom. See how easy that works? Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, that bothers me, little kids, because now this is going to affect your son. How many years will this affect your son? Like, and I don't want to be negative and all, but you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't recover from that shit. A lot of people wonder, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like, why me? Why am I the different one when you're not the different one? You know who the different one is? The two kids being bullies. They're the ones that are different. They're the ones that are not right, Yeah, 4 years old. The kids don't deserve that shit, man. It pisses me off because all this does is create like trouble for kids in the future. Like, yeah, what do you? Good morning, Harper. How are you? Like, what's your opinion about the kids that do the bullying? Right? There's something missing in their life. There's a reason why they do what they do. Right? You're picking on an innocent child that just wants to be left the fuck alone. And there's something in your brain or something in your environment that is not right. There's a reason why you treat other kids the way you do. And for me, it's because the environment you're in. You have to be seeing this. You have to be in a situation where you're seeing this shit go down, right? Like either your dad's treating your mom like this, or your mom's treating your dad like this, or your parents are treating your older brother this way, your younger brother this way. Maybe you're not getting treated that way, but you see it, so you think that's how you respond to other people. So your confidence is horrendous. No discipline, no responsibility, and you're just a little brat, dude. It's annoying. God knows he just does not want to go to school. It's a shame, right? This is a shame that a parent has to feel this way. Not only the parent, but the son. It's a damn shame. Kim, can you see him when I put him up on the screen? Exactly, dude. Like, that's a good point you bring up, Ryan. Because the kids in respect nowadays, right, is it different? Are we teaching our kids this stuff? Are we teaching our kids respect and morals and values? Or are they all out the window, right? Like, if I was always respectful to my elders, right? That's how I was treated. You got to treat people with respect, right? Yeah, exactly. I really think it's a personal problem to the bully, right? The bully has some shit going on that they need fixed, right? They just don't know. They don't love themselves, obviously. I can see an iPad, but not an iPhone. Huh? I don't know, man. It's the same setup I've been doing. I don't know what Facebook does anymore. Well, actually, this is StreamYard, but I stream it to Facebook. iPad marries phone, so well. That's leaving these days respect. Yeah, man. The whole moral thing, right? We get into religion. I guess we can have a civil conversation. Yeah, no one really got out of hand yet, but that's where that shit stems from, right? 10 Commandments, like how to treat people. Yeah, thanks for sharing your story. Hopefully, tell your son to stay strong. and we support him. Um, he's the cool kid, right? And the other two dudes need help. That's a major. I mean, you could take a lot of the I'm back on again. Why don't you do it? Okay. Yeah, I might go live. There's a couple of people that have been. That's. I'm going to ask that question. What do you guys think about doing lives in the afternoons or podcasts, broadcasts, whatever these are called? I mean, I don't mind getting up early like this, and it's kind of part of my life now. But maybe if I'd started at like 5 and did them to 6, and then do them in the afternoon as well, because a lot of people say they miss it or they can't be here. Um, it's pretty damn early in the States. You know what I mean? I don't know what time it is for everyone here, but yeah, later's better. Yeah. I'm starting to think that. But I don't know. Like, I'm scared to I'm scared to not do it in the morning, right, and then put it off, and then not do it in the evenings. But I mean, it's just like in the mornings, right? There's nothing to do, right? See what I'm saying? What would I be doing right now? I'd be sleeping. So there's always going to be this time in the morning to do this. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm always going to yeah. I'm always going to be free at 4 in the morning, right? I'm always going to be available. You know what I mean? That's why I like doing it early like this, because for one, I do it and I don't like back out of doing it. And for two, there's nothing stopping me from doing it, right? Sleep. I work in school and they don't deal with bullies. Every school in the UK has bullying policies, but why don't they? If it's the policy, why don't every school in the UK has a bullying policy? Why don't they? Why don't they? Why don't they put a stop to it? It's a shame, that other kids just going to school just want to go to school and be left alone, right? But yeah, it's up to you. You could. Oh, I appreciate you. Uh, yeah, I like them in the mornings too. Enforce the policy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, imagine that. Well, that's a interesting comment, right? They don't like to admit there's a problem, right? So if the school can't admit there's a problem with the bullying, right? So now it's just so funny how this works. So now you have kids, right, that grow up, the kid being bullied, right? You think he's going to admit he has a problem when he gets older? It's funny. You tie them two together, right? So the school ain't going to admit that this kid's being bullied is a problem. But then when this kid gets older, we expect him, right? As a society, we expect him to admit there's a problem when he's depressed or anxious or whatever his mental health is, right? Follow me on this. This is pretty wild, right? So you expect you expect the kid being bullied to admit there's a problem, right? You wonder why people don't talk about it. Well, you're raised in a society where you're being bullied, and we're not going to talk about that, right? So what's this kid? All right, so you're not going to talk about it, but you want me to talk about my problems and what I go through when I get older? It's crazy if you think about it. Like you couldn't even protect me, right? You couldn't protect me when I'm an innocent child because you don't want to admit that I was being fucked with, right? But then when I become an adult, now you want me to admit my problems. You wonder why you wonder why adult men don't talk about their issues, right? It's pretty deep shit. Morning, Jennifer. How are you? Man, it's weird when I think about that. Hmm. You know what I mean? That's pretty wow. Why wouldn't you address the problem? If I do bad and if I do bad on the test, you're gonna address the issue, right? You're gonna pull me aside. Hey, you got you're flunking, right? You address that issue. Maybe I'm flunking because every time I come to school, I get fucked with, or maybe I'm flunking because this kid picks on me every day and I can't focus. Maybe I'm flunking because every time I'm in the hallway, I get picked on. I'm petrified to be in school. I don't want to be here. My mind's not at school when I'm at school. Oh, I'm in what's the word? Protection mode. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to survive here. I ain't got time to focus on what the class is about. Like it's so much bigger than just the kid himself that's getting bullied. Like that's what we should be focusing on, not all the shit around it. I think you focus on that and you can eliminate that, you're going to get a lot more from the kid. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, she can focus on the education, right? Instead of, worrying about what everybody else is going to do to her. Yeah, I was just speaking about this, right? That's where it starts, right? I was saying that earlier. Like, that's how they see their mom or dad getting treated. That's how they see their older brothers getting treated growing up. They think it's the right thing to do, right? Um, but again, why do they only focus on one kid? Why don't they focus on every kid in the classroom? Like, what makes a bully? How does a bully select his prey? You know, is it the shy kid, the one who reminds them of their brother or their mother or their father? Yeah, I used to be that kid. To be honest with you, I mean, my fastest time ever out of a classroom, I walked in, I said something, and I was in the hallway the rest of the day. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not going to pick on a kid that knows that. They're going to smack him around. Oh, such. That's good. That's as simple as that, right? You want to be a clown? We'll send you to the circus. You know what I mean? I mean, that's one thing that's good about like the military, like a little boot camp for kids like that, because you know you're all the same in the same kind of. How can I say this? You're all children. You're all there for the same reason, right? And then when you act up and you act like this, you're taken away from everybody else. You know what I mean? Not only are you disturbing your education, but not now you're doing it to everybody. Um, it's a shame. Secondary school, and they put her in the middle of. Yeah, I mean that kid needs. That's another thing. So that's what I mean. That's where I think the main focus should be, right? Is why are these kids acting this way? Like, are they have ADHD? Like, are they why can't they focus like the rest of the kids? Why do they got to be a disruption? Is it the attention? They don't get attention from home? Are they acting out? Like, I think if you address the bully, then no one's gonna have to deal with them. Does that make sense? I don't know. If these kids get the help they need prior to becoming full blown bullies or whatever they are, disruptions, wouldn't that solve the problem? Now, not only all right, so this kid has an issue, But now his victims have issues because of the kid. So all he's doing is passing his issue around the school. You know what I'm saying? So he comes to school with these problems at home. He takes them out on other kids in school. So not only do we have one kid with a problem, now we have multiple kids with problems because we let this kid just pass it on, right? Yeah, for sure. But you see what I'm saying? I never broke it down like this. Because you think about it. Now his issue is going to become another kid's issue in a different form. So it's like you're bringing the cycle of this kid's life into school, and the school system is not breaking the cycle outside of the household. Some deep shit. I never thought of it like that. Yeah, I mean, what do you do there, right? If the school ain't gonna help, what do you do as a parent? You just let your kid go through this shit over and over and over again? Why don't the school? Yeah, it should be a safe place, right? I mean, okay, so then we can take this even farther. So then you got kids that are being bullied, and what do these kids end up doing, right? And you wonder why this shit goes down in schools, without saying it. I mean, it's horrible. It's a horrendous fucking thing. You know what I'm talking about. It happens in the States more than anywhere, I believe, with they go into school and they do violence, right? And then there's death. And we wonder why this is happening. But we blame it on the weapon they use, right? We blame it on the weapon. It's not the weapon. I don't know how many. I mean, we could get in this conversation. I don't know how people feel about this, but my opinion is it's not the weapon. It's not the weapon. What? See what I'm saying? They're avoiding this. They're avoiding the issue here. So it's okay what the kid did. We'll just buy you a plant until you forget about it. That's disgusting. Hey, little Johnny, don't do it again. We'll buy her a plant so she forgets about it. Can you split screen an iPhone? But yeah. So these kids that are being bullied, yeah. I wonder why. Hey, these kids, man, and you hear these stories about it, and then you always hear, oh, he was the weird kid. He was this. He was that. He was that. He was bullied. He was made fun of. Yada yada yada. If it seems like it's so easy to address, right? It seems like to me. I mean, is it that complicated? Is it that hard to address? Is that hard to see? Why isn't it taken serious? I mean, do the school system and people not understand that shit? People get to a point where they can't take it no more, right? Everybody has a breaking point. We're talking about kids here. At what point is the school system held responsible for the children that you drop off, You're trusting in them to protect your child. I mean, how are you guys as parents supposed to be in two places at once, right? I mean, and this is the whole reason why I'm not against homeschooling. Like I always thought homeschooling was weird, and like why would you homeschool? But I don't think it's weird anymore. I think society's weird. I think we have failed as a society, right? I think we are going down a path that we don't want to go down. We're buying plants for mothers, elders that have been disrespected by kids to make the situation better. What they should have gave you was a belt so you could smack the kid in his ass. That's what they should have gave you. Right? And then people say that's abuse, right? We can't that's abusing kids, right? How else do you there's other ways to teach. There's other ways to learn as a child. There's other ways to parent, right? But at what point do you draw the line and you got to take it a different route? Like, I don't know. I'm not a parent, but I just know how I was raised, right? I wasn't gonna disrespect anybody, especially my elders, right? I wasn't gonna disrespect people that came before me. Maybe not cracking a kid in the ass is the proper way to teach, right? Or educate or parent. But there's a difference between abuse and just being corrected in a strict manner. You know what I mean? Where does it end? When does this end? Like, you keep blaming the wrong thing when it comes to the school violence. You keep blaming the wrong thing. What's the matter if I came to school with a or if I came to school with 18 knives, right, and waited for kids to come in the bathroom one on one and just did what I had to do. That's not the issue, man. That's not the issue. I don't understand why people don't see this. They focus all their attention on the object and not the person. And what got this kid to where he is to do the violence he has done, right? Why isn't that the topic of discussion? Where did we fail as a society, right? As a school, as mothers and fathers, neighbors, brothers, cousins, aunts? Where did we fail, right? But no one wants to take accountability. No one wants to take responsibility. At the end of the day, these are kids, right? So why is it always blamed on an object that's not going to move or operate until it is picked up, moved, and operated? What's so hard to understand about that? And this could be anything. This could be from a vehicle, a bus. It don't matter what. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. Like, we pass the responsibility down or over here or over there, you know? Yeah, they should bring that back. Yeah, you have to, right? Like, I don't understand. Just have your car full of plants, dude. That's a great idea. Like, here, this is what Harper taught me. I did bad. Here's a plant. Be on your way. Exactly. That's another thing, right? We put laws in place to make things worse. I just don't understand. Again, I don't have kids, so it might be easier for me to sit here and just say, do this, do that, you know? But, at what point do the adults take responsibility for the kids' actions? Yeah, everyone makes decisions and choices, but if you're brought up with around violence, right? When do you learn right from wrong, right? Well, you look at the Bible, Adam and Eve, they ate the apple, right? God told them not to eat the apple, and they ate the apple, and now they knew they were naked. And he said, "How do you know you're naked?" He said, "They ate the apple. That's why they covered herself up with leaves." So at what point as a child do we know right from wrong, right? At what point do you realize, okay, the way I was raised, let's say you were raised in a family that's done wrong. At what point, at what age do you know right from wrong? You know what I mean? At some point in your life, you got to know what you're doing is wrong. Is that right? Or maybe we never learned. Like, say you were brought up and everything you did was wrong. When do you know what's right? Whose fault is it? Is it the kid's fault? He don't know right from wrong? Who do we blame? Who takes accountability? At what point is it the kid's fault? At what point is it the kid's responsibility? You know, what age are you an adult? 18? You know how many immature people there are at 18? Whoever said 18 was, where'd that come from? Where did 18 come from? Why is 18 the age that all of a sudden you're, why can you go to war at 18, right? Why can you go to war at 18, but you can't drink a beer at the bar? You can go fight for your country, lose your life, leave everything behind at 18, but you can't go into a bar and drink a beer. It's backwards to me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not the way the society's going. I mean, we're all from different parts of the world, but the way society's going, it's everything now has to be accepted, right? I have to accept everything you do. Because if I don't accept everything you do, or accept everything you think, or accept every emotion you feel, I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, I mean, what do we buy our love from our children? You got to remember, like, I mean, again, I'm not a parent, so I'll keep saying that because I don't want people to think I'm something I'm not. But at one point, it's your kid's future, and doing the right is more important than doing what's wrong to just make him happy in that moment. Like, life's not going to be that way, right? You're not teaching your kids shit. Because let me tell you something, life is not that way, right? When life is hard for your kid, let it be hard for your kid. You know what I mean? Let them understand that there's way more emotions, and this is going to be life, right? This is the life you're about to live, you know? It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be all happy. You can't just go out and buy a toy when shit goes wrong. You can't buying a toy when your water heater goes out ain't going to fix it, right? You know what I mean? Buying some football cards when your roof starts leaking ain't going to fix it. That's not how life works. Exactly. Who cares about what society does? Half these people in society are fake anyway. It's all fake. So many fake people out there. You can't even be your real self. Yeah, decent front of what? To keep up with the Joneses? You ever heard that saying, keep up with the Joneses? I was never that way in my life. That doesn't make me better than anybody else. But it doesn't matter what you have. That's not what I need. There comes a point in life you get what you want, or do you get what you need? Right? Do I tell you what you want to hear, or do I tell you what you need to hear? The problem is we're so used to telling people what they want to hear, right? When you tell people what they want to hear, guess what happens? They stay around you more, right? You got more friends because everybody in that group tells you, hey, you know, you're great this, you're great at that, you're great at this. And then when they go to bed at night, you know you're both bullshitting each other because both of you are fucking wrong. You're living a fake life, right? You're not even supporting this friend. You're not even supporting the people in your family. I never kept up with the Joneses. Yeah, you have to, right? That's another thing. You want to be friends with your kids? You can be friends with your kids when they're 18. Since that's the magic number. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, Do you think you should be best friends with your kids? I don't think you should be best friends with your kids. Yeah, exactly, Brian. You can be best friends with your kids when your fucking kids are your age, when your kids are your adults. Being best friends with your kids, what's that teaching them? Because what's going to happen when you're best friends with your son or daughter? What's going to happen? You're not going to tell them the truth, are you? You're going to tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. See, a lot of people don't like the guy that's honest with you. A lot of people don't like that friend. I ain't hanging out with him. He's too damn honest, you know. He tells me how it is. They're good to have around. They're the real ones. They're the ones that will never leave you, right? I have a couple friends like that. I have a couple friends that I thought, man, this guy's ignorant as fuck. Right? Why is this guy so ignorant? He's not ignorant. Your truth, your reality is the ignorant thing. He's just telling you the reality you live in. Once I realized that, I was like, damn, dude. This is a real man. This is a real guy. This, he's not a perfect person. He'll tell you that. But he's not gonna let you, he's not gonna let you be something you're not. He's not gonna he's gonna hold you accountable for your actions, right? And your emotions, your thoughts, and how you treat others. That's a real dude. That's a real friend. I want you to, when I slip, I want you to tell me I'm slipping. You know what I mean? When I'm at the top, I want you to tell me I'm at the top and be proud of me. When I'm at my lowest point, I want you to be there to help me, support me. Tell me, look, you got to get your shit straight. I don't want you to tell me I'm great in all aspects of life when I'm not. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. That's a shame. That's tragic. How you doing, Johnson? It's a deep conversation, man. I don't even know where I was at in that little rant for about 30 minutes, but this is why I love doing this shit, man, because this takes me to a level of thinking that I'm not in all the time, Like about that whole bullying and like, why do the kids do it? Just friendships and relationships and being being truthful is so important. Like I don't know why people don't understand that. Why do we live this fake life? Why can't we just be truthful with everybody? Why do we talk behind people's backs as like a group, right? But when the person walks in the room, we act totally different. If the issue or the problem is that big, that you say you got 4 or 5 people talking it behind the person's back, don't you think the issue is that big that we should address the person? Right? If someone's having trouble, if someone's struggling, or say it's addiction, or they're treating their wife wrong, or their husband wrong, or they're treating their kids wrong, or they're not doing this or they're not doing that, and we know it's an issue as friends and family, all right? And we talk about it behind this person, why don't we address the person? If the issue is that big, we're wasting our time and energy on it. Well, it's really not wasting, right? But it is wasting because you're not addressing the problem. What is us as friends and family talking about it, right, going to do for the person that's involved in it? That's some shit I never thought about either. You think about that, you waste all this time talking to each other, worrying about what me and Ted and Bob's opinion is about Chris, right? Well, here's Chris with the problem over here. Here's me, Ted, Bob, and Junior talking about the issue, finding ways to solve it, debating on how we should help or what he should do. And then Chris walks in the room and we talk about how the weather is. So we just spend an hour trying to figure out how to help Chris, but we never tell Chris the truth because we don't want to hurt Chris's feelings, right? But we just wasted an hour of our time discussing on how we'll fix Chris, but never letting Chris know how we can help him fix himself. Why are we like that as a society? It's mind-blowing to me. Like, I mean, what's the point of even talking about it if we're not going to help the person? Or you just talk about it because you really don't care about the person. I guess I could see that, you know. Thanks, Harbor, for the stars. I appreciate you. Um, it's just weird when you think about it like that. I mean, everyone in this room, or is it 10 people? I can't even see who's in here. I just see the number. I mean, you got to agree with that, right? How many times everyone's been in a situation like that? You're trying to come up with a solution to help the person, but you never tell the person the solution. You're just wasting both your fucking times. Why do we do that? Why we're scared? We're scared of the response the person's going to give us, right? Oh, how many times you've been around someone? I'm not telling him that. Everyone in here has heard that before. I'm not saying that to him. Why? Who the fuck? You got to remember, right? Everyone puts their pants on the same way, one leg at a time. Unless you're in the circus and you haven't, you're pretty good at it. But I don't know why we do that. Why are we so scared to help people because of their reaction? You know what? The truth hurts, dude. Everybody knows that. Everyone's been in the situation where the truth hurt, right? And someone we love passes away. It hurts, right? That's our reality in the moment. We talk about that person, right? We come together and talk about the person, right? We're all hurting, right? It's the same thing. You're all talking about this person, and you're all, yeah, right. And you're all trying to help the person, but you're not helping the person at all because you're not even telling the person what's going to help. I don't get it. I mean, does this make sense to you guys? Yeah, right. I mean, all you're doing in the end is hurting each other, right? Your relationship stands in truth, right? Your relationship's not a truthful one, right? Listen, if I'm fucking up, I want to be told that. Is it gonna hurt? Yeah. Am I gonna be pissed off? Yeah, but I got to accept the fact that, I mean, unless you're completely wrong. Now, let's be honest. If you tell me, I'm doing something that's completely, I can just look at you and be like, dude, come on, dude. That's not right. But I mean, if it's going to help me become a better person or a better parent, a better father, son, brother, cousin, whatever it is, it's going to help me be a better person and something I know is going to make me a better. Why wouldn't I do it? Oh yeah, I get it. See, there's opinions and then there's truth, right? There's opinions and then there's truth. Your opinion of me is none of my business. You ever hear that saying? Your opinion of me is none of my business, right? An opinion and then telling me the truth. Let's just say, okay, if someone like say Harper, you said you cuss too much on here, right? Hey, I'd really appreciate it if you didn't cuss as much as you did. And then I'll be like, okay, what's it matter? And then I'll think about it. This is just in general. And I'll be like, all right, you're right. She's true. I do cuss sometimes. Maybe I won't cuss at all then. Right? I can't argue that. That's not your opinion. I guess in a sense it is, but you're saying maybe you're saying 5 cuss words is too many. So that'd be your opinion, but it's still reality, right? If that makes sense at all. I guess it is your opinion, but I don't know. Some things are truth though. But you're right. There is I guess yeah, you gotta that's a good point, now you think about it. I guess you got the weed out, right? You got to figure out what's true and what's not. Jennifer said it's about respecting boundaries. Yeah. I mean, when you get opinion from somebody or the truth, right? Some opinions are truth, huh? And some opinions is just exactly what they are, just opinions. Very interesting conversation. So you say stuff like that, and then it makes you think. It just makes you think, right? And when you respect someone's opinion or someone's input, I think it's very important for both people, right? It's an interesting topic. And coffee's cold, but yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, we want best for everybody, right? Why wouldn't we? Some people, are jealous or they don't want to see other people do good, which I don't understand, right? Especially if it's someone you're friends with or your family member, somebody you surround yourself with. Why wouldn't you want the best for everybody in the building, right? Or in your group or in your circle? Because if they're at their best, they're only thing they're going to do is bring the best out of you, right? I mean, who we surround ourselves is a big part of who we are. I mean, we all can get better. My dad used to say, at least listen to my advice. Yeah, that's a good point too, right? I'll give you this advice. You do what you want with it. Now, it might apply to you, it might not apply to you, right? Yeah, it's up to us to weed out and see what fits, I guess. If he gave you advice on how to use a hammer, right? The best way to use a hammer to build a fucking wall, you're going to use that advice when it comes to that. But if you don't do it every day, you know what I mean? You're not going to act on it every day. But it's a good point. It's always going to be there, though. You're always going to have that, especially if it impacts you, right? Someone gives you advice. There's certain things in life that stick with us. Why do you think trauma sticks with us so much? Because it was such impactful. You know what I mean? It was such trauma that we never forget it, right? And it's the same thing with people's advice and opinions about us and the truth, right? You can't hide from that, even though some people try. It's going to go everywhere you go. Yeah, exactly. Patrick says that's why I'm alone with trust issues. Well, are you when you mean alone, Patrick? A lot of people have trust issues, right? So you're not alone when it comes to that. You know what I mean? You're never really alone. You might be alone with no one in your presence, but a lot of people have trust issues. I mean, can you blame people? Can you blame someone for having trust issues that been treated in a certain way? There's a reason why you have trust issues. Or maybe say it's a relationship reason. So is it the person that you're with now's fault that the last person you were with was dishonest? That's where you got to draw the line, right? You can't. How will you ever be in a happy relationship, right? And be able to trust a person if you keep blaming, let's just, for example, what your ex did to you, right? What your ex did to you has nothing to do with your future. I mean, with your present girlfriend, right? That's nothing to do with her. That's where you got to draw the line, right? I mean, what someone else does to you is not somebody else's problem. Like, what happens to me at work, I shouldn't come home and take it out on my wife. She had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing when it comes to that, I know it's easier said than done, right? Our favorite word. Yeah, honesty hurts, man. It hurts, but if it's the truth, then that's how I want to live my life, dude. That's how I've been trying to live my life. It's a better life to live, I think I've always been honest for the majority of my life. Uh, we can always get better, right? Yeah, Jennifer, it's not their fault, you know? I think if we did a better job of explaining, right? Okay, this is why I act this way. Let's just say Patrick, for instance, say, I mean, I'm just making this up. You know, this whole thing's made up, right? I don't know what Patrick think clarify what the trust issue was, but I'll just use myself. That way, no one else's name's involved. But to say me, like I dated a chick, she cheated on me. Now I don't want to date no girls because I think I can't trust them all. So now now you're taking one situation in your life, and now everybody's at fault. Everybody's at fault for that one person. It's not fair to yourself, and it's not fair to everybody else around you. Right? Why is one person's actions everybody's fault? It's not. I had trust issues and very low self-esteem, lack of confidence, but I had to learn, and I've now been married to a fantastic man for 14 years. My life started. Yeah, there you go. It's a great success story. There you go. Patrick, if this has anything to relate to you, it can be done, right? And my advice, if this is the situation, don't rush anything, right? All great things take time. Find yourself. Find what you want. Focus on you. Trust yourself. Put all your trust in yourself and whatever higher power you believe in, and then things will fall into place when they're meant to be. Sometimes we rush into things, right? We think we have it all figured out, and then before you know it, boom, you're smacked in the face with reality. And reality always wins. Don't rush life, it goes fast enough. This is a good podcast this morning, man. Must be this chair I'm sitting in. I don't know. Um, yeah, just kind of like rambling. Some deep shit, though. You know what I mean? And this all stemmed from, obviously, bullying. I can't even say that right. We're being a bully. Yeah, Brian, just all over the place. And my previous life, I was never allowed to make any decisions. I found it so difficult to do. Yeah, because you probably didn't know what decisions to make. You weren't used to being in control, right? Um, that person had total control over you. So when you kind of like it's like learning a language, right? We talked. I don't know, maybe I won't hear, but anyway, like learning a language. If you don't use that language, you're gonna forget it, right? So you never made a decision. You were never allowed to make decisions. So when you're able to make decisions, you were probably scared as fuck, right? Oh, I get to make a decision. Well, hell, you're probably looking around for someone to give you advice because you haven't been doing it for so many years. Now this is in my hands. Now I get it. No one should ever take that from you, right? That's one thing that we that's one thing that every human has. Choices, right? Choices are decisions. Some make some bad decisions, some good ones, but when someone takes the power away from you to make your own decisions, that's pretty sad, right? And then you're left trying to find a way to once you get out of the situation, now you're left trying to find a way to make your own decisions because you went years without doing it. Probably felt good, right? But like you said, it was so difficult because you haven't done it for so long. That's another very interesting thing. No, I got together with my new husband. Oh, which one to get? Yeah, I mean, I find myself doing the same thing a lot, like indecisive. I'm like that a lot. Not just buying things, but like, does anybody else get like that? Like, okay, so say that's another reason why I go live, right? Because let's say I didn't go live in the mornings, right? What I would do, get up in the morning. I talked about it before. I get up in the morning, talk to my wife, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go live this afternoon, right? And then I go to work, I come home, all this shit happens at work. I'm not in the right mood when I get home, blah, blah, blah. My mind's all over the place. I come home, do what I gotta do, and then guess what happens? I never go live, right? So it's the same type of thing. Like, you guys ever tell yourself you're gonna do this, do this, do this, and then when the time comes, you don't do it, right? Or something happens, you're like, I don't feel like doing it. My mind changes a lot like that. Like, one moment, you know, let's say at 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday, I want to go out to the club, like to the VFW or whatever. Then by 2:30, I don't want to do it no more. I deal with that shit a lot. That makes your decision a lot easier. Yeah, for sure with the price. Yeah, price is weird, man. I get like that a lot. I wish I was indecisive. Oh yeah, that's true too, right? Yeah, there's sometimes like I wish I'd have to plan everything. You know, sometimes everything has to be planned. I wish I could just get up and all right, let's just go to I'll use Baltimore for an instance, even though I wouldn't be going there for a while, but we were talking about it earlier, like they have an aquarium down there. So yeah, let's just go to Baltimore for the day. Or some people are like, yeah, some people need a plan. I need a plan for the most part, right? I guess me having a plan for the weekend or a plan during the week, it gives you something to look forward to, right? We often need things to look forward to bring us happiness or joy. Gets us through the week. But now I'm not trying to think of everything. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. Well, folks, what time is it here? It's my 6 o'clock. I gotta finish getting ready for work. Good old work. Yeah. It's scary when you make your own decision. When the power was taken away from you for so long. Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, I mean, now you're at the point where, you're gonna make the wrong decision. We still make the wrong decisions. But if you haven't been doing it for so long, right, you're probably not as fresh. Yeah, right. And looking forward to some of is how you doing today? Um, oh, nice. Um, yeah, it's tough. But I hate to end this, but I gotta go. I gotta go to work. I'm gonna try to go live again tonight. So I'll see you there. I appreciate all the interactions. And yeah, if you didn't see that, you want to look for more videos, just type in Baltimore Bridge and it should come up. But I appreciate you guys. I gotta head out, get to work. I think it's gonna be raining today. I might mess my day up a little bit. Hopefully. Maybe it is raining. Maybe I'll come home early and go live. Um it's gonna mess my job up. I ain't about to do that. You as well, Harper. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the stars again. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you guys, man. This is great. I mean, I can just come up here and talk about anything, and people are willing to interact and have their opinion about it, or facts, right? Or the truth. We learned today opinions can be truthful, they can be lies, they can be whatever they want to be, right? It's an opinion. But there is the truth and then there isn't. So very interesting topic. But Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll see you later on. Have a good one. Be safe. Take care of yourself.